We're standing in front of the house that where Ryan went missing, where he was last seen. So,
Yes.
And can you tell me about where we're about to walk, and then what were the possibilities? You said there's a possibility that maybe he would have gone to the right here. So we're on Burfield Drive here in Sun Peaks. And
the route and the possibilities that we're discussing come from if Ryan walked out of the house and went missing on his own. It does not really take into account the other form that if somebody was responsible for Ryan to go missing. So I want to preface that with that, because I never want people to think, because I think because I've been so vocal about it, people honestly believe that I only think one thing, and it's not true. It's the one thing we focus on because it's the only thing we can. So we are doing this journey as if Ryan had walked out of here and somehow went missing on his own with nobody else of involved in that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so let's take a walk down here. This is, I think too, I was here that season later, as we talked about a month later, came here and a significant amount of snow that season. So I remember the snowbanks were
anywhere
higher
from
than a vehicle when you came up.
8 to 14 feet we measured at some points. And if you look on these sides here, like a lot of these places are new, but during the time 7 years ago, a lot of places were under construction. So there was some, I wouldn't say abandoned buildings, but buildings that were being worked on and renovated. And a lot of these places, if you look, we thought for the first week that they were just duplexes. Did not recognize that some of these places had apartments underneath them. So they're actually 4. So that makes a difference too, because there was so much snow, and if you notice, there's no real sidewalk. So they really, now if certain times of the year, this time from I think April 1st until end of October, you can park on the right side, and then in the other months you can park on the left side. But at that time, cars were parked on both sides of this street. You'll also notice there's no street lights, so it can be pretty dark. You've got high levels of snow, 18 to 14 feet, and you've got cars parked all the way across, because you don't have just a couple of people in here. You have several. And every house, if you had a fourplex, you could have had 4 or 5, maybe 6 people living in one up in the top, and then more in the basement. So there's quite a few. If there's cars, there's quite a few traffic in here. You can't see unless someone has security lights on it. So it was, if you could look at a night to have gone missing, between the frigid temperatures, the fact that it was snowing, the fact that it was a record year for snowfall, and there were so many cars on both sides of the road, it's really difficult to imagine how you get from one place to another, how he could have, gone missing. So there's a couple of places. We just took the Blue Jay Chalet. That was another, at that time, was another place that they could go. So the house that we were originally where he was at was called the Sunday Fun Day House. Then you had the Blue Jay Chalet, and there's bars down here, and then there was Wolf at the end here, Wolf Creek. So there was a couple of places that the locals would come, usually it was the lifties, I would say, mostly, or the seasonal workers would come and would spend their time at one of these places. So this particular night that Ryan went missing, people congregated at the Sunday Fun Day House. So when he came out to go to Ryan's house, he should have just come out and turned right. And if you drop right down there, there's a path that will take him up. Now they're doing constructions. I think looks like there's buildings going up or accommodations. So that's closed off now, but he should have come down and just popped up right by his house. The end of the trail pops up, there's his house. It's possible because his roommate James, they came and they were on this side, the opposite side of the road. A lot of times they had been to only Sunday Fun Day House, I think a couple of times in the 2.5 months they've been here. I think they've been on the other side maybe a couple more. And so when James came out, he turned right. And so that led him towards the end of Burfield. At some point he recognized that he was going the wrong way, although you can connect. It's really difficult to see with the snow and no lights. And if you're not familiar with the area, you probably wouldn't have taken that.
Yeah.
You would have turned around and come back on on the road that you were familiar with. And so James recognized that he was going the wrong way. He turned himself around and then headed and went back to his house using the normal route. We just don't know at this point in time if Ryan left the house, and if he left the house, did he turn left? Did he turn right?